I may act for a living, but I'll never fall for Erika Jayne's bad performance. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I'm here to review season 13, episode 16 of The Real Housewives Still Asking for an Apology of Beverly Hills. We start the episode off with Crystal. Then we see Dorit at the park with her kids. Then we see Erika Jayne heading to her therapist, Dr. Jen. She's telling her, doctor, I have a show coming up in Las Vegas soon. I'm going to give you free tickets. They're only $3. And I'm a little nervous, because I always had Tom to rely on as a safety net financially. And now I'm doing it all on my own. And Dr. Jen was just like, yeah, I understand. When you had Tom, you had it all. Now you don't have anything. And Dr. Jen kind of would have pissed me off the way she kept listing everything I don't have anymore. She was like, Erika, when you were with Tom, you had this huge house. Yes, I did. You had all the luxury, stuff, the private planes, the jewelry. Yes, I did. You had all the expensive bags, the Hermes, the Louis Vuitton. Yes, I did. Yeah, you had it all. You had the shoes, the cars. Yes, I get it, Dr. Jen. I lived through it. She would have pissed me off. Like, stop reminding me everything I used to have. Like, this is so sad, right? So Erika continues and she tells her, recently we were all together in Spain and we were doing an activity and it was my turn and I was so angry. I was so upset because nobody's apologizing to me for treating me the way they were doing over the last couple of years over Tom's crimes that I had nothing to do with. Nothing. And Erika, like I keep telling you every other week for the past, 2-3 reviews, you need to let it go. You're lucky that you're not in jail right next to Tom. Just be glad that you got your little, 25-cent residency in Las Vegas. You're a free woman. You're starting all over again. You still have a job. Just be glad that you still have some part of your life still put together. Like, yeah, you don't have, expensive house with a giant pool anymore. Yeah, you don't have, all the jewelry and the diamonds anymore or the private plane or the purses and stuff. Like, oof, I don't know. I can see why she's miserable, but just let it go at this point. Who cares if they don't want to apologize to you? I wouldn't apologize to you either. And we'll see how this whole thing plays out later on. But Dr. Jen tells her, at least this whole situation taught you who's on your side and who's not on your side. And clearly, Erika, nobody's on your side and you just need to accept that. Like, nobody's going to feel sorry for you, Tom, and both your legal issues over the last couple of years from taking money from innocent people. Like, yeah, you say that you don't know what was going on, but to us, it's always gonna look questionable, so just drop it. And Marie's also throwing a Mother's Day champagne and diamonds forever white girls and gays party at her house. No, she's only having a champagne and diamond event at her house, but, what was wrong with Nene naming her event that? Forever white girls and gays party. A mess, but regardless, Anne-Marie, now we're talking. We then see Sutton and Abby visiting her horse, Santos, and they have snacks for him. She's ready to ride him. In the confessional, she was like, I'm a really good rider. I ride all of my dates. After getting to know them, which I don't understand why she continues with this whole narrative that she's a professional dick rider, when we saw your skills in Las Vegas on the mechanical bull, Sutton, and you were stiffer than a cardboard box. I mean, you were literally like, it would be different if we saw you and you were like, yeah, but that wasn't the case now, was it? But regardless, her and Santos, they had a cute moment together. She was riding him all through the farm. Then we see Kyle. She shows up just to be a hater. In the confessional, she was like, what is Sutton doing? Did she ever ride a horse before? First of all, Kyle, you should be more concerned about who's riding your husband in the bedroom. Let's start there. So her and Sutton, they sit down to talk about what's been going on with Sutton ever since the Spain trip. Sutton lets her know that her ex-husband, Christian, is now moving to the UK for a job. And what the hell is in the UK that everybody's over there for a job? First we have PK. But PK's probably running away from Dorit or doing something shady over there, or a combination of both. I have a feeling that it's only a matter of time before PK is the next Tom Girardi and he's in jail sitting right next to him. It's only a matter of time. I just feel like something's going on with him and Dorit, but, time will tell. But Christian, now he's over there, so Sutton, she feels, she felt a little bit more comfortable now that he was down the street from her, but now he's going to be, on the other side of the world, and now she doesn't know what to do. She feels some type of way about it, and I mean, Sutton, I'm pretty sure that you and your millions of dollars are going to be in good company. You'll be fine. So she turns it back on Kyle. So what's been going on with you, Mauricio, your marriage, your therapy? What's been going on with that? Of course, Kyle, like I say every other review, Kyle just walks this fine line and she talks in circles and she's like, well, I mean, me and Mauricio, well, I mean, I've gone to therapy and I realized that I want to be more independent. You know, I want to direct, I want to act, I want to be with Morgan. And Mauricio, he's all about the agency. And, you know, it's crazy that literally the next week is the finale and nobody has really questioned Kyle about anything, because Kyle, every other season, she wants to come at somebody about be honest, be honest, be honest. You have to be real. But yet the one time that she's finally put on the spot with her marriage, nobody really questions her about anything. I mean, they do question her, but they let her skate off with the whole, oh no, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm going through it. You know, right now is not a good time for us. I'll talk about it when the time is right. No. Let's talk about the husband, because you want to come at everybody else every other season, but now you want to be, oh no, I don't want to talk about it right now. No, every scene that we show up to film, we're going to talk about Mauricio. Like, it's crazy, but like I said before, I feel like Mauricio is more in love with somebody else and his agency and his job than he is with Kyle and his marriage to her. Then we head over to Garcelle's house and she's filming something with her son, Jax, for an organization called Cyber Smiles that brings awareness to cyberbullying. And they want to do this because of the situation that Jax was unfortunately put in when he was sent a bunch of disgusting comments online, which, by the way, whatever happened to that situation? Like, did Garcelle ever do anything legally? Or did she find out, like, who was behind these Instagram pages? Was it Diana Jenkins and her tongue behind the whole thing? Like, but regardless, they're sitting down, they're getting ready to film. Jade, her other son, he comes down to help. He's holding up the cue cards, but as they're trying to read off of them, he's just dancing around and he's dropping them. And Garcelle is like, can you get it together? She's reading them like, yeah, so we wanna party. He just keep moving it in front of them. But the whole thing was very cute. And shout out to Jax and Garcelle for turning this ugly situation that happened to him into something positive. So after they film, Jade, he runs upstairs. Now we have Jax and Garcelle having a one-on-one sit down. Garcelle, she tells him, you know, I know you're getting older. You're 15 and... you know, I realize that I do need to give you more freedom, because that's been a thing between them, that he wants more freedom. He wants to be able to do more things. And she's like, you know, you're allowed to go to your friend's house. You can hang out with them. You could take an Uber ride to them. As long as I could track the Uber, everything is okay with me. And he's happy about that. And he's like, yeah, I'm glad. And, you know, it's just crazy because back in my day, we didn't have Ubers. We had to just walk to our friends' places. So, you know, must be nice. I remember being Jax's age, because he's 15. I remember being his age, and I remember when I used to, you know, have to come home early or have a curfew or whatever. And I remember going home and I would throw such a tantrum. I would be so upset. I remember having a journal at the time, right? And I remember writing so vividly. I wrote, I hate being treated like a baby. Why do I get treated like a baby? I don't want to be home. My friends are at a party and I have to come home early. Like, I shouldn't be treated like this. I mean, whew, I was something else at 15, but Jax is like, well, you know, I'm glad that things are getting better between us. I hope that this is a sign. Garcelle is like, what do you mean better? Like, I thought I was doing good. And he's looking at her like... We then see Sutton on her second date with Steve, the cutie from a couple of episodes ago. Hey, Steve. She's like, you know, after the Spain trip, I realized that I need to move on with my life. And I'm like, well, damn, Sutton, all it took was for you to throw those ashes in the ocean, and now you're ready to find a man? I mean, I'm here for it though, right? So she shows up, Steve is there, and they have such a cute, awkward chemistry between each other. They're sitting down with their drinks, but Sutton has some juice in her purse to mix together. So he starts it off with the corny jokes, and he's like, oh, it's kind of like Burger King. You could have it your way. He would have had my panties so wet after the first corny joke. He continues and he's like, oh, what kind of purse is that? What brand is that? And Seth is like, oh, this is Celine. And he's like, oh, I didn't know Celine Dion made purses. If I was Sutton, I would have been like, oh, stop it, Steve. You're so funny. But Steve, he also starts laughing at something. And then he's like, oh, yeah. Starts snorting. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I just did that. Like, he was so embarrassed, right? But the whole thing was cute. So they go into a suspicious looking room in the back of the bar to play darts, and they were having a good conversation. They were playing along and everything was cute. And I hope that something good comes about this for Sutton, because I do like them together in an awkward way. And hopefully she could show him her infamous writing skills that she keeps talking about all season. And we go from Sutton and Steve to Kyle and Mauricio at Kyle's house. Mauricio, ironically, he's by the bar, knowing that Kyle is not drinking anymore. He's like, oh, come get a drink. And she's like, what kind of drink? I don't drink anymore. And I'm like, Kyle, relax. Relax. We're filming the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Relax. She's just so angry. Oof. But she goes by the bar with Mauricio, and already she has an attitude. She's just so over him, right? And, it's crazy because seeing their conversation, they're in two completely different worlds because in Mauricio's head, everything is okay, everything is fine, they're getting back to a better place. But Kyle, she despises him. So it's just like, Mauricio, are you not noticing your wife in front of you? Like, she doesn't love you anymore. That's what it feels like. Kyle has fallen out of love with Mauricio. Unfortunately, she doesn't want to be around him. And anytime that she spends just wasting around next to him, that's what gets her annoyed. And she just keeps saying, we went to therapy. We went to couples therapy, which again, why are we not showing that? Why do we not see Mauricio and Kyle in a therapy session together? I just wish that Kyle will be upfront and just say what the issue really is. Like, what is going on? Because you keep talking to Mauricio like an ass, and I don't even know what Mauricio has done to you behind closed doors or behind cameras that we don't know about that's making you feel like this, but what is going on? Again, in your own words, you're not being honest, Kyle. You're not being honest. We finally get to Anne-Marie's Mother's Day Diamonds and Champagne event, but before that, we see everybody getting ready, and Doris specifically, she's in the chair at home. She's getting her hair done. She decides to call PK, right? PK, he is still in the UK doing who knows what with who knows who. She's like, "Hi, my baby. How are you, my baby-lish? So, it's Mother's Day weekend, and I was thinking that maybe next year we should celebrate Mother's Day moving forward together. What do you say, my baby?" Here goes PK. "I don't understand what you want me to celebrate. Here in the UK, we don't celebrate stuff like that. You're not even my mother." If I was the people doing Doris' hair in that conversation, I would have felt such secondhand embarrassment for her. Like, what do you mean you don't want to celebrate just because she's not your mother? Like, she's the mother of your children. Like, Doris, what did I just say a couple of reviews ago? You need to leave PK before he leaves you because it's coming. Like, it's just crazy, the disrespect. Like, and her response, she was just like, I mean, PK, I'm still the mother of your children. Like, we should celebrate moving forward. No, that's not good enough. If I was you, give me that damn phone, Doris. Give me that. Listen, PK, I don't give a fuck if I'm not your mother. That would have been my reply. Like, who are you talking to? I would have reached over that phone so quickly, grabbed them by the neck and pulled them back to the US. Like, who are you talking to like that, sir? Like, that is crazy. You're not even cute enough to be talking to me like that. Like, that is crazy to me. Like, back over at Anne-Marie's house, I feel like she should have hosted this event episode 2 or 3, and that should have been her introduction to the show because I feel like this was a much better element to get to know her in instead of coming in halfway through the season at Kyle's dinner party. But of course, Bravo blew it. So everybody starts coming in one by one. Erika was so rude to the 2 waiters that were in front of the house holding champagne glasses as everybody was coming in because they offer her one. They're like, "Oh, do you want a glass?" And she's like, "No." And she keeps walking in instead of saying, "Oh, no, thank you, but thank you for the offer." And if I was the waiter, I would have been like, "Oh, you don't want one? Okay." Broke bitch. Like, so rude, right? Her and Garcelle start looking at all the diamond necklaces worth millions of dollars. And did anybody notice that one security guard standing right behind Erika the entire time? He was watching her like a damn FBI agent. I'm pretty sure that Anne-Marie probably told him, "Yeah, keep an eye out on that one. Her name is Erika Jane, the one in the pink dress. Yeah, I don't trust her because her and Tom, her ex-husband, I watched the last 2 seasons of the show. Yeah, she's a criminal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she's gonna try to sneak a necklace in her purse, so watch her, okay?" So then Sutton shows up and, yeah, Sutton, you're not beating these alcoholic allegations that Kyle was trying to put on you because she clearly showed up to the event drunk, or at least tipsy, because Abby had gave her a drink for the road, which I'm not sure why. There's already drinks at Anne-Marie's event. How many more drinks do you need? So she shows up and she's going up the steps to the front of the house, and her compared to the steps, she looks so tiny because she's trying to take like these big steps, but it's taking her a good minute to go up the steps and there's no railing, there's no nothing. She's already tipsy. It's just a mess, right? Eventually she makes it inside. They're all looking at her like, "Oh, wait, what's going on with Sutton? Is she drunk?" She has a drink in her hand, and then she goes in the kitchen and she makes herself another drink. She's like, "Okay, let me get this." And then, it's not like a small pour. She's like, I always wonder for events like this where they have expensive jewelry for sale, does anybody actually buy anything or are they just window shopping and trying it on, to see if it's cute? Like, but then we see Crystal. Crystal shows up and she looks so, so pretty in her red dress with her hair in a bun. And Marie, she wants to talk to her to make sure that everything is good between them so they can move forward. So they sit down to have a one-on-one conversation. And for the most part, they both forgive each other. They both apologize to each other. But if I was Anne Marie, I would have had to tell Crystal, you need to be a little bit more specific about your apology because you still called me a bitch. And I haven't forgotten about that. But meanwhile, Sutton tells everyone about her second date with Steve and how he texted her saying, you look so beautiful. We haven't kissed yet. And I really want to kiss you. And I'm like, aw, Sutton, you still haven't kissed him? I would have kissed him on the first date so quickly. He would have had his way with me. And then here goes Erika. Oh, he's looking for a BJ. They all sit down and for the 100th time, Erika tries to get an apology from the group by telling them, the other day I was talking to my therapist about all of you and I was very angry with the way none of you believed me during the whole situation with Tom. And part of me feels like I need an apology from all of you. But then the other part of me feels like I don't need that. And if I was them, I would have been looking at her like, so Anne Marie, can you pass me a champagne glass, please? Yeah, no, that one right there. Pass me two, actually. Thank you. So I'm gonna go buy $1 million necklace, okay? So have fun with this. Bye. Like, I'm still not apologizing. And the more that you force me to do something that I don't want to do, the more I'm not going to give it to you. So then Dorit, she was like, did you genuinely believe that we were not rooting for you? Erika was like, well, I mean, that time that we were at Kathy's dinner party, that iconic episode, right? You said you were being dragged into this because of me. And I mean, in a way, Erika, yes, that's right. Because if you're married to Tom and Tom is committing all these crimes behind your back and you're his wife and I'm your friend, then of course I'm looking at you like, wait a minute. Like, yeah, we could be friends and all, but are you really telling me the truth? Like, did you really not know what's going on with Tom? And now I'm just supposed to stick by you blindly? Like, no, of course I'm going to have questions, or of course I'm going to want to distance myself like Sutton did. Sutton, she didn't really want to be around Erika because she knew that it was going to be bad on her image. Because now, that you have a target on your back because of your husband. Now all of us, as a cast, as friends, now we all have targets on our backs as well. So, I mean, what do you expect? Kyle and Dorit only stuck next to you by loyalty. And even then, both of them kept flip-flopping every now and then when that whole situation was going down. Garcelle, I'm so glad that she didn't break like everybody else did in the group because she was like, look, I didn't want you to go down, kind of. But I had opinions. Exactly, Garcelle. Exactly. Like, you can't blame me for having opinions and for looking at this whole situation for what it was at the time. Like, yeah, looking back on it now, maybe, it could be questionable. But at the time when we were all going through this together, I mean, obviously, I may have been looking at you like, wait a minute, who is Erika Jayne at this point? So I'm not apologizing. If anything, I would have been like, just be lucky that you're not in jail. That's that. Sutton. Oh, I was so disappointed with Sutton because Sutton was the one next to Garcelle somewhat who actually stood up to Erika and she was actually questioning Erika Jayne the whole entire time that this whole situation was going down. And she was like, look, I want to apologize for my behavior, and everything and questioning you. And then Erika, she starts crying. I'm like, Erika, save it. So Sutton, she starts apologizing. She's like, I'm so sorry for making your life hard, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, Sutton, don't do it. You should have just gave an answer like Garcelle and just said, look, I had opinions. And I didn't want to see you go down, but that's that. But, Erika got her way. And Erika, you better hope that nothing ever comes up in the future that, you were lying about this. And, they do some digging and come to find out that you were actually guilty. And now everybody's apologizing to you for no reason. But that was that. She got what she wanted, I guess. And maybe they can move forward, I guess. And next week is the finale. And that is crazy. Episode 17. Typically, Beverly Hills has 22 episodes a season? That just goes to show you that this season was just kind of compared to the last 2-3 seasons. This season, I mean, what did we really even talk about? No Mauricio, no Kyle, no nothing. Just, apologizing over nothing either. But let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode down in the comments. And would you have apologized to Erika? Yes or no? Bye, everybody. Mwah.